tell you. However, the reason why we're here is because we love you dearly. And that is the most comfort we can offer. Stephen was very special. And he will now live in all of our hearts.
Probably the last time I ever saw my best brother. It's probably the dumbest thing I've ever done in my life. Eating like a hot pepper. This ain't videotaping it on his phone. Me and Brandon were just going up. It's the worst thing I've ever tasted in my life. I don't know what else to do.
I love you, man.
The night before this all happened, Steven taped these guys having a shitty eating contest. All night he loved playing with his brothers that he didn't mind taking on his phone for 10 minutes. These two playing, and that's what they want to talk about.
I only knew about 2 years. And last time I saw him was like 2 weeks ago.
They want you guys to know how much Steven loved playing with little guys and how he could be just like them, chasing around, eating chilies and drinking milk, gallons of milk, chasing the pain away. And the last night he spent hours with him and he recorded it. We had it on his phone and I fell asleep that night. I'm like, they love you, you play with them, I'm going to bed, I gotta work early. He's like, he always did, Mom, go get some rest, I'll take care of the boys. And they had pizza, and the next morning I wake up and all the milk is gone. Steven, what happened? The boys, they had a chili eating contest and they drank all the milk. And that's what the boys wanted to talk about.
I'd just like to share a few thoughts, and we're going to be getting ready to do a balloon release in a few moments, and we'll be exiting behind me outside of the patio and down to the blacktop just to participate in that physical act together. But after that balloon release, I do want to encourage you on behalf of the family to come back up to you. If you'd like to share something, my friend, come on up.
Hello everyone, I'm Dustin. I spent a lot of time with Steven playing music. I've never met somebody who was so inspiring. He just believed in me, just way more than I ever could in music. And I love you, Steven. Wish I could hear you again, man.
Steve, this is not a goodbye, but I will see you later. It is amazing the short amount of time you had in this world, that you were able to touch and teach so many people. I promise that I will live my life to the fullest the way you did. Your spirit lives on in each of us. I love you, brother. I'll see you again. Dimitri, see you later.
Thank you, gentlemen, for sharing as well. And I know in a room like this, there are many wonderful stories of how Stephen personally impacted you. And like I was mentioning, after the balloon release, we'd love to have you come back in here and continue to share your thoughts and stories to Brian and to the entire family. But what I'd like to do at this time is just to share a couple of thoughts from Scripture. It's amazing the different things that we've learned about Stephen and how an incredible gift of a 24-year-old he was. He impacted so many levels of life that 24-year-olds don't. And I think it's incredible how he just achieved life and went after life. And that's a great testament to who Stephen was. Stephen was born November 17, 1989 in Houston, Texas. He passed May 11th in Las Vegas, 24 years of age at the time of his passing. He is survived by his parents, Brian and Leticia, his brothers Travis, Nick, Parker, and Kevin, his grandfathers Jim Nicholas, Steve Diumenti, and Asico Nunez Arares, his grandmother Luz Maria Martinez, and many aunts, uncles, cousins, nieces, nephews, and friends. Preceding Stephen in death are his grandmothers Anita Nicholas and Debbie Diumenti, and his uncle Mike. Stephen moved around in his early years from Houston to Napa Valley, California to North Dakota, and he finally found a place called home here in Las Vegas. He attended Sid Rogic Middle School and Palo Verde High, graduated in 2008. He was on both the football and wrestling teams during his high school. He moved to Orange County after high school, then he attended Saddle Pack Community College. He soon transferred to College of Southern Nevada, and he was working towards his degree in computer science. As we've already mentioned over and over, Stephen was an incredibly bright individual. He started his own company called Culinary Business Intelligence. He served as the CEO, president, computer programmer, creative designer, software developer, just to name a few when he had nothing to do. He developed concepts for many restaurants such as Prime, Burger House, and Adults Show Kitchen Buffet. He alone came up with the names, designed the logos, menus, and concepts. He also developed a software program called Menu Cloud, an all-in-one solution for restaurants. People were always blown away whenever they worked with Stephen. They were simply amazed at his talents and skills at such a young age. Stephen was passionate about many things in life, such as martial arts, music, snowboarding, wakeboarding, hiking, riding, and traveling. Most of all, he was passionate about his family and his friends. He loved the outdoors. He spent much of his time in Red Rock, where he and his brothers were thirsty. Whenever they were, I learned this story, when they were thirsty from a hike, they would run across puddles from a rain. He always would stop and drink from the puddles, and they would ask, "Man, are you crazy drinking from the puddles?" And in Stephen's own unique way, he's, "Oh, the water's safe to drink, just from the rain. So, okay, let's just drink the water and just move on our hike." Music was an incredible one of many passions of Stephen's. He wrote and recorded a lot of the music that we listen to today. He put his own band together, and we heard from Alex and Brock became Stephen's music brothers, and together they formed a band named Afterthought. He was a wonderful guitar player and a beautiful singer. He wrote and wrote. He was gifted at just writing, and it just wasn't like simple things. It was like incredibly deep things. He loved to write poetry. There's no doubt that writing was one of his God-given talents. English and literature were his favorite classes. I understand that he read Norton Anthology of English Literature, a book nearly 5 inches wide, by the age of 11. Amazing. He would write on anything he could get his hands on whenever he received inspiration, maybe a brown lunch bag to crumpled pieces of paper. He wrote all of his thoughts and ideas down. His ability to think deeply was by far beyond anyone his age. Stephen had a wonderful worldly perspective about life and humanity. His love and respect for all cultures filled his heart. He grew a deep love and appreciation for the Native American culture and history during his time in North Dakota. He loved to travel. He traveled to Mexico, Hawaii, Spain, Italy, Germany, France. He was loved and adored by all who came in contact with him. Stephen was most of all deeply committed to his family and to his friends. He was always looking out for his parents. He will be deeply missed by everyone who knew him. Life is not measured in the number of days